Good afternoon. It's Friday, May 30th. Last few days of May, and then here comes June. Big, huge month for tournaments, member guests, all the above. So we're primed and ready. Obviously, last week we got a lot of sod down in the fairways. Please avoid the sod. We've got some stakes around them, but we don't want to get too crazy with all the stakes out here. So please, it's pretty obvious, avoid the newly sodded areas. We have, unfortunately, a lot more areas to repair still, so we're going to be working on that. So last week we fertilized fairways. It was pretty dry all week, and then yesterday we fertilized tees. So we got a sneaky large amount of rain yesterday evening, about a ½ inch actually, nice and slow. And so the golf course was pretty wet this morning, which we had to make the ruling of carts on paths for the majority of the day. It's about 1 o'clock now. I just overturned that, where carts are off paths from hole 6 forward. 1, 3, and 5 are still on paths. 1 and 3 will probably go off paths tomorrow. So pay attention to update tomorrow morning on the cart path ruling for which holes are all off paths. So, but it was a much needed rain, honestly. We'll take that moisture. We need that moisture to get the sod watered in, to get that sod rooted in, and we need that water to dissolve that fertilizer, get it incorporated into the soil so the plant can take it up. Very, very important. So we've made a couple rounds of fertilizer on tees. Honestly, we haven't seen a lot of growth in fairways or tees due to the lack in temperatures. It's been pretty cool last few weeks. We've had, like, what was it, 2 or 3 days where it was hot. What was that, about 2 weeks ago? We're not going to see this zoysia do anything until we start getting sustained heat. I don't want to have 90 degrees, because then the bent grass greens start going down a little bit. They start declining. But 90 degrees, it becomes pool weather for enjoying at the club, and 90 degrees means the zoysia will start growing. So as soon as we get sustained heat, you're going to see these tees and fairways and collars really come to life. We're going to start growing in and start looking good and pure again. So it's going to take time, though. Fairways and tees won't look really the way they were in the past until probably August, but we're going to get the process going as soon as the heat starts coming alive, and we're just going to keep fertilizing them. So they're going to start growing pretty crazy here as soon as we get this heat. So we'll see. We've got sustained warmer temperatures starting this weekend through next week, it looks like. So we'll see what happens. But when the oven gets preheated, we're going to have some better growing conditions here for zoysia. Busy week, or busy month for tournaments. That kind of started this week with Memorial Day weekend. It makes for a lot of golf and a lot less time for us to do maintenance work. And then we had Barstool Classic on Wednesday. So luckily the club was closed on Tuesday to give club members, team members, staff members at the club that work the pool and work the clubhouse, they need a day off. So the club was closed, and maintenance crew went to town doing a lot of mowing on Tuesday. Wednesday we set up for Barstool Classic. After that tournament was over around 2:30, we went back to work and we vented the greens and did a soil drench app on the greens to get prepared for the June events that we're going to have. So once a month or so, it's very imperative that we do a soil drench on the greens, where we're putting not only nutrients but putting out fungicide and also putting out wetting agents that help with your soil. What am I thinking of here? Your surface tension, so that water can move through the surface and we usually try to pair that with venting the greens. So unfortunately what that means for playability is that the greens are really wet and really soft at the moment, especially with the combined rain we had yesterday. But for turf managers, this is a good thing. This is us reloading and preloading the greens and getting them ready for another month of action. So it's very necessary. Not so exciting right now. Like I said, we had perfect greens that were firm or fast. They're still fast, they're just soft. So we'll get that firmness back probably by the end of next week for the Senior Club Championship. So it just continues on. Maintenance crew keeps finding a way to get their practices in. You know, Wednesday, for example, was a dark to dark shift, 5:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Just we got to get in where we can fit in, do what we can. Here goes Mac. I don't know what he's after, but he's on a run. So 6 minutes into the video, a lot going on. There's going to be some fairways that we may keep cart path only for a week at a time. Like number 1, I think I'm going to make that cart path only next week just to try to help with recovery. So we're going to get creative and find ways to help get all this turf recovered so we can have the pristine conditions that we're used to. So that's kind of the plan. I'll keep you abreast of that, any of that information, any of those cart path only holes. But I think it's necessary to aid in recovery. We already raised the mowing heights of the fairways to give them more leaf material. So more leaf material, more photosynthesis, more energy made, more growth. That's what we're doing here. So very long video, apologize. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.